Do you think, though, that it's kind of struggling since there's no EJ? Do you think that's probably the difference?
He was just magnificent. You need a champion and someone that's prepared to stand up to the naysayers, because so many people want to sort of talk it down, and he'd confront them. And
you need someone like a wrestling promoter, which was
what he was.
He was a showman, and he knew how to get a soundbite and get a camera.
And just on that point, he could be frightening, but also, you know what I mean, he always seemed to be just on the edge of theatre and genuine anger, much like Jim Wilson found out here.
As for the Underdog tag, well, Mr. Football isn't concerned.
You really think we can do it, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Don't you?
Yeah, do you think there's too much...
Don't you?
Yeah, I think you can do it.
Good.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Were you ever on the receiving end? Did you have much to do with him?
No, I did.
You shook his hand?
He was our chairman of selectors for the first 5 or 6 games I played, and we were a bit, we were young and in awe of him. But the whole Dermott turned up late for a bus trip one time, and he wasn't that happy, but then he pulled Dermott aside and he said, just go with me. Pulled the cameras over and gave him the most fearful spray, and then he finished, he said, you get that, the cameraman? He goes,
He force of nature, he was. Jack, there was a funny thing that used to happen when State of Origin was still one of the big ticket items in town, that a lot of young players like yourself and Stephen Kernahan, kind of announced themselves.
How old were you when you first played?
I was 17.
17 for State of Origin.
And you kind of announced yourself to the national football psyche and consciousness in a state game. And who did you play on in this game?
Who were changing jumpers with?
Well, it was Spud Frawley that I played on, but I was just pinching myself because Peter Dacos was playing, you had Paul Salmon out there, you had Nicky Winmo was an idol of mine, but...
Everyone's swapping jumpers. Who did you swap your jumper?
Well, I had Garry Ablett come up to me, and he had number 18, so Garry Ablett Senior, and he had his jumper halfway up. Yeah. Now, being a Western Australian, my first State of Origin appearance, I wasn't going to trade it up, so I declined the great man.
What?
Well, as a kid, I mean, a Western Australian, I want to look after my first jumper. You don't know, Sam, you don't know when you're going to get your next one. So...
No.
But...
What?
Well, I went on and played another 7 State of Origin.
Did you ever ring him and go, mate, if you ever want to change that jacket...
No, I've actually brought it tonight. So if you can call out the senior, I want to swap it now. So.
Garry, senior, come on, get on down here. Give us a look at that.
Beautiful jumper, isn't it?
It was a meteoric rise because you played 6 games in your first year and you were named and joined in the Victorian State squad.
6 games?
Have a look.
The 44-man squad had 2 new additions tonight, Richmond sharpshooter Michael Roach and 19-year-old Geelong sensation Bill Brownless from Jerilderie, who's played only 6 senior games. While thrilled to be in the squad, Bill had never even given a thought that this year he might be playing for Victoria.
Didn't even think of it. I was just concentrating on getting a game for Geelong, week by week, and geez, she was a thrill, all right. Yeah. A couple of years ago, I used to sit in the stands out there and watch them, and used to run out and pat them on the back and that, and now training with them, she's a big thrill.
A big thrill,
it's a big thrill.
Billy, when did that shy young man turn into the giant windbag I see before me? Did you know then you were destined to be a media star?
No, what do you reckon? The Lyric Hotel, when that opened, when Dermy come down and opened that, after about 3 years after that.
After that, was it?
Yeah, a few drink cards and things like that.
I was going to say, you invited down to training. You didn't play. You didn't play in the game. That interview probably cost you a spot in the team. But what was it like to be surrounded by your heroes?
Well, that's exactly right. And there was Plugger, Lockett there, and Dermott and all those. And you grow up at school and you watch all these kids. And I don't know how I got in the squad, to be honest. 6 games, and they weren't great 6 games.
You kicked 15 through the 6.
Did I?
Yeah.
And anyway, so I got invited along, and it was embarrassing. You run out there and you'd be looking at these blokes going, what are you doing here? Plus, I was from New South Wales, so I don't know.
People say that there was a rivalry between Victoria and South Australia, but to be honest with you, there wasn't much evidence of that. I mean, this was Victoria rocking up to South Australia. See if there's some kind of rivalry.
It's been tagged the state of war, and this afternoon the Big V got a not-so-friendly welcome at Adelaide Airport, and it was Mr. Football that fans targeted. Here in enemy territory, there's no escaping South Australia's hatred of the Big V.
We hate you because you're Victorian!
There was Gary McIntosh there.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, they were pretty popular, those T-shirts. I've still got mine, everyone.
Well, yeah!
Wayne, have you still got yours? Who's got it? My favourite. 20 tonight, mate.
I should have bought the Mr. Football sunglasses in retaliation.
Teddy would have been loving that.
Teddy would have loved it.
And Teddy was a great man during that era too. He and Neil Curley, off the field, really created that rivalry back again that had been missing for so long. A lot of credit's got to go to those two for re-engineering State of Origin footy.
Boys, we need to talk State of Origin now. And
we should.
I mean, we've had Chris McDermott on the show this year. We've had the Rat as well, Johnny Platten as well, and asked those boys what it meant representing your state. Can I ask you? I mean, you played in numerous State of Origin, and this era here, South Australia versus Victoria, was just brutal.
Well, Andrew Jarman, arguably the greatest ever South Australian state player, that in the litany of great South Australian. I mean, how many Foss Williams did he win?
Well, Andrew, you won 5 Foss Williams medals. Oh. Craig Bradley won 4, Gary McIntosh 3, Sticks won 2. But
Crazy the Bandit got 1 too.
I mean, we watched the Origin in the NRL last night with that decider. But what did Origin mean to you boys back in those days?
Well, it was the pinnacle, because you're representing your state. Because we were brought up to dislike Victoria as young footballers. It was drilled into us. The great Neil Curley, God bless his soul, and the great Russell Ebert, and those guys drilled into us that when you play Victoria, it's head in the hole and don't come off the oval if you haven't had a crack. And when you put that red jumper on with the V, you're representing your state, and that meant a lot to us. We had a great coach in Graham Corns. We had a great program, and then when you walk into the change rooms for state training camp back in those days on a Sunday, when you play on a Saturday for your Sandford club, wow! You look around the room and they're all there.
And that we were an awesome side. You look at the state side. You saw the blokes who came through that era, Bradley's and Motley, the Kernahans, McGuinness's, Nailey's, McIntosh, all these great players. So I would say that the Sandford back in the 80s, I'm not trying to be biased here, but probably the best that the Sandford have seen. Because when we played state footy, we actually beat the Vics as many times as the Vics.
Some amazing games.
Her central districts is a pretty rough part of town, wasn't it?
It's a beautiful part of town.
Pretty ordinary.
Yeah, but I want to talk to you about State of Origin because, I mean, you wore the big V with enormous pride.
It's coming back, apparently.
Why did this representation seemingly mean so much to you?
It's a great question. I had a fascination for state football as a young kid. I even remember, I used to get my mum to pick me up from primary school. Mum, you've got to be there right on the dot, right at 20 past 3 or 3:30, and we were 10 minutes away. And the time difference meant that it was, I think it was a 20-4 game. I had to be there for the start. And it just, as I said, I just had this fascination for state footy, and it just stuck with me.
Well, those Tuesday afternoon games in Perth, those state games over in WA using the Burley.
Would you love to see it back? There's talk of it. Do you reckon
if we can get it in somehow, absolutely. I mean, you're showcasing the best of the best.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic spectacle, brilliant to play in.
Well, I loved going to watch them. They were just...
it was awesome. It was awesome. And if you could get it back to what it was, then it's a green light from all of us, I reckon. I mean, the last great state game, regarded by many, was one you played in '94 over at Footy Park against...
I was there for that game. That was a ripper.
Are you joking? South Australia won by a couple of points, I think, if I'm right in remembering.
Did the locals set your car on fire because it had Victorian plates?
Gav, there's a phase of play, a lot of young kids watching won't understand state footy. There's a phase of play that you were part of, and we're just going to play it. It's from end to end. You're a pivotal part of it.
Insane.
We're just going to play it. This is as good as footy gets.
Andrew Jarman, magic hands. Chris McDermott goes for goal. And Silvani gets back and takes the mark.
Viney was loose then. McDermott blazing away. Only had to chip it to Viney. Holt takes on Platten, goes to ground. The little rat catches him. Tingay under pressure. Handball was clever. Steins, Platten's got him. Tingay again. Oh, gee, it's good footy. It's tight and it's tough. Grant plays it in front. Runs away from Wren. Gets tackled high by Jamieson. Advantage given the Vics with a chance to Brown. Brown from 50 goes with a long one. It's back there towards goal. Wanganeen and Ablett, two of the greats of the game. Ablett over the top. Don't tell me Gary's kicked.
both sides. That's good. That's just a really elaborate version of kick it to Adler.
I mean, of all the great games you played in, you played massive games for Collingwood. It's just sort of a rite of passage if you're playing in Collingwood. Where does that game sit in amongst all the great games that you played in?
Oh, yeah, right up there.
Yep.
Yeah, right up there. Look, I was really fortunate to play in a lot of really good state games. At 89, one at the MCG against Adelaide, 98,000 people. The ground was just a disgrace. I don't know if you remember back, but just some of the players that were playing in that game was, the forward line, I think it was Dunstall, Lockett, Ablett, Lyon. It was crazy.
Amazing.
The talent.
Yeah. Do you still hang on to any sort of belief that there's still a place for it?
I don't think it will, but I feel really sorry, and I say this if I can be serious about the fact that going into a state training as a young man for the first time and seeing Dale Waitman and Simon Madden and Tim Watson and all the greats was the greatest thrill.
Imagine. Answer me this, Gary. Why don't they still just symbolically hand out the jumper?
They should.
Even if you don't play, why can't they go, we're going to, like they do all Australia, and they go, here's our big V, best 22 of the year. Because that still means something.
It should be on their resume at the end of their footy career that Patrick Cripps is a West Australian.
West Australian.
He should be an 11-time Western Australian player. And I'm really... And Bontempelli should be a Victorian player. He should be recognised as a Victorian player.